Hey Jenny, welcome back to the show. Today we've got a asterisk doozy times of a topic. We're diving into the Bybit hack, the $1.05 times billion time $1.
Mark, I know. It's almost impossible to wrap your head around that number. $1.50 times billion. Where do we even begin?
Well, the sheer scale of it is what's so shocking. This isn't just times hack. This is the biggest cryptocurrency theft attributed to North Korea. Time ever. It makes those previous heists, the ones that seemed huge at the time, look like small potatoes.
Right? It's like, we thought we'd seen it all, and then, bam, this completely redefines the threat level. It's not just about the money either, is it? It's about the trust, the vulnerability. The whole system feels shaken.
Exactly. And what really gets me, Jenny, is how times they did it. It wasn't some super sophisticated technical exploit, not primarily. It was social engineering, good old-fashioned trickery.
Okay, wait, let's break that down for our listeners. Social engineering, bade. It's basically like con artistry, but in the digital world, right?
Precisely. Think phishing emails, fake job offers, tricking employees into clicking on malicious links. It's all about exploiting the human element, the weakest link in any security system.
So they weren't hacking times code times they were hacking times people.
That's a perfect way to put it. And in this case, they targeted the employees who held the keys, NIME, times literally, times lame, to Bybit's multi-signature wallets.
Multi-signature. Ooh, that sounds secure though. Like, you need multiple people to approve a transaction, right?
It times designed to be secure. That's the whole point. But it's only as secure as the process times around it. And that's where things fell apart.
So what happened? Did the employees just hand over the keys?
Not exactly. It was more subtle than that. The attackers used things like address spoofing, making it look like the transactions were going to legitimate addresses, when in reality, they were being diverted to the attackers' wallets.
Oh, wow. So the employees thought they were approving a valid transaction, but it was all a cleverly disguised illusion?
Exactly. And because they were under pressure, maybe rushing, or maybe just not trained to spot these kinds of sophisticated deceptions, they didn't catch it until it was too late.
That's terrifying. It makes you wonder, how can any exchange, no matter how big or well-known, truly protect itself against this kind of attack?
That's the million-dollar question, or in this case, the times billion-time dollar question, isn't it? It's a constant arms race. The attackers are always finding new ways to exploit vulnerabilities, and the exchanges have to keep up.
And it's not just about the technology, is it? It's about the people, the processes, the training.
Absolutely. It's a holistic problem. You can have the most secure code in the world, but if your employees are vulnerable to social engineering, it's all for naught.
So what's the fallout been like for Bybit? I mean, beyond the obvious financial hit.
Well, there's the reputational damage, of course. Trust is everything in this industry, and a breach of this magnitude, it's hard to recover from that.
It's a massive blow to confidence. That feeling of, is my money even safe? And Bybit saying that they are back to 100%. Does that calm the users after this?
And then there's the regulatory scrutiny. Governments around the world are paying close attention to this, and you can bet there will be calls for stricter regulations, more oversight.
Which, ironically, could make things even harder for legitimate cryptocurrency exchanges.
It's a complex situation, no doubt about it. But one thing's for sure. This hack is a wake-up call for the entire industry. It's a reminder that security is not a one-time fix. It's an ongoing process.
So what are some of the key lessons that other exchanges and even individual users can take away from this?
First and foremost, train your employees. Make sure they're aware of the latest social engineering tactics and know how to spot them. Second, strengthen your multi-factor authentication processes. Make it as difficult as possible for attackers to gain unauthorized access, even if they do manage to trick someone.
And what about on the user side? What can we do to protect ourselves?
Be vigilant. Be skeptical. Don't click on suspicious links. Double-check everything. And if you're using a cryptocurrency exchange, make sure you understand their security protocols and what measures they have in place to protect your funds.
It's a brave new world, and not always in a good way, sadly. Constant vigilance is key, it sounds like.
Unfortunately, yes. But there's also innovation happening. We're seeing new security technologies emerge, like AI-powered threat detection, that could help prevent these kinds of attacks in the future, hopefully. It isn't all doom and gloom.
That's good to hear. It's a constant battle, but hopefully, the good guys can stay one step ahead. Or, at least, not fall too far behind.
Exactly. And that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining in on this deep dive today, Jenny. I feel like even I learned a lot just preparing for today's podcast. And thank you everyone for listening.
It was my pleasure, Mark. See you all next time.